This is gonna be hard, I reckon.
What the f? Drums are so annoying sometimes. Oh, Jesus. Oh, crap.
Hello and welcome to my exclusive channel. I'm Ed. In this video, I am going to be giving myself a challenge. This challenge has multiple parts to it. 1, I want to learn the first act of a musical from scratch that I've never heard before. Challenge 2, if I didn't hate myself enough, I'm going to give myself a week to learn it. So from Monday to Friday, that's the time, and I've got to record it on the Friday. And the third challenge, I'm allowing myself only one take on the Friday. So the video that you see will be the only video that I film. You might be asking why impose this challenge on yourself? It does take a lot to learn a musical, learn an act, especially from scratch. That's going to help improve my skills. And of course, the one take thing is, well, when you do a show, there's no rewind button, you can't retake songs. So those are the challenges I've set on myself. Oh, that's right, I didn't even tell you what musical I'm doing. We're doing DEAR EVAN HANSEN. I have no clue what it's about. So I'm going to be attempting to learn the entirety of Act 1 to DEAR EVAN HANSEN from Monday to Friday this week, with only one take on the Friday. I really hope I haven't bitten off more than I can chew. Here's how I think I'm going to go about doing this. I think the first thing to do, having never listened to it before, is listen to it. Try and work out maybe a bit of what the drums are doing. Just listen to it, really. Because I know I'm on a bit of a crunch time, I think by the end of today, which is Monday, I should probably at least have transcribed 2 of the songs, and maybe had a run through of the whole show, of the whole act even. Yeah, we're not doing the whole show. So I'm going to listen to Act 1. Actually, I need to find out what songs are in Act 1 to start with. Okay, I now have listened to DEAR EVAN HANSEN. Having listened to the soundtrack, this is going to be hard, I reckon. But it's a challenge for a reason. But it's gonna be hard. Let's do some drums. Great start. Okay, first thing we're going to do, because actually I've spent half the day today recording another video. If you haven't, go and check it out somewhere in the abyss over here. But what we're going to firstly do is I found 2 great videos with some notation on them for Anybody Have a Map and Waving Through a Window. 2 great videos, and I'm going to use them to base my score on. We're going to create a drum score. Okay, I have now finished writing. Now I've got to learn these, but that's a job for tomorrow. See you tomorrow. It's now Tuesday morning. Having created Anybody Have a Map and Waving Through a Window, I've now printed them off, sight read it quickly. It takes a while to do these, unlike when you just sort of handwrite notes out. You can kind of be a bit more, you don't have to be as thorough. I write absolute on stage, but it makes sense to me, that's how I learn it. But yeah, enough ranting, let's give these 2 things a go. They're 100% going to fall off my stand. I so need a better stand. Let's just get rid of that. Having sight read the scores, I now went away and annotated them, so I therefore had 2 fully annotated scores. So now I've got both scores written up and sellotape, so they're not going to hopefully fall off my stand now. written up how I like it. Going to run through them now, just to make sure, you know, just keep practicing really. If I was to score that, probably a 5 out of 10. I can sight read it, you know, I can get through the piece. There are just a few little bits that need a little bit of work. Let me show you about how I would go about learning this sort of music. I think if you look at anyone who have a map, the main sort of groove, well, it's semiquavers, and then you've just got little bits which add to the sort of sequence of it. You got a little double into 2 accents. That's pretty much your main groove in anybody have a map. And then the final bit which goes into sort of an open hi-hat bit is so that's a little bit of a map. Then waving through a window. This is a bit more of an interesting one. Going down, you've then got into sort of the chorus bit. Fairly straightforward, it's just got little variations, little bits in it. But then you've effectively got this tom. The breakdown. And then finally you've got this sort of ride section. Then you've got sort of another breakdown sort of section. Then effectively what's written is this, but the soundtrack does something else. So if I might do something else, it feels like it uses actually a bit of snare, so I might go something like that. And that is Waving Through a Window. Just because of practicing both of these now really. But no, let's keep going, So the next song I need to write is For Forever, and then I'm also going to do Sincerely Me. After these 2, we're going to have 4 more songs to do, but my concern is that if I do 2 songs a day, I'm going to get to Thursday and still be writing songs. Probably what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to write the final few songs. That's going to be a f***ing slog. So Wednesday afternoon, Thursday can just be dedicated to practicing. In theory, this plan will work. Realistically, this is still going to be hard. That's all written, so the job for tomorrow is what we'll probably do in the morning. I'm going to play everything, then I'll write the remaining songs, and then we should be on track to then just keep practicing But no, we're in a good solid place to meet my imposed challenges. But you never know, things could go drastically wrong at some point. Or it just sound like shit. One of the two. See you tomorrow. Morning. It's Wednesday now. In my opinion, today is going to be the crunch day. Because by the end of the day, my concern is if I don't have all the music written, I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. So, the plan today is run through all of what I've got. Once we've then finished, it will then be a case of writing the remaining 4, do the first 2, run through everything again, write the second 2, run through everything again. But yeah, today is going to be the make or break day. So what we're doing, we'll warm up first, we should warm up. You know, I could be the sensible drummer, you know, do some rudiments now, or I could just play Uptown Funk. And because I can do what I want, this is my channel, I'm going to do that instead. Oh, Waffles, why are you in here? Take cat. Waffles, out. Ow, my foot. This day is going from to Give me that. Oh, I can already see how this day's going to go. Okay, here we go. These had to run out of charge, didn't they? Let's pick up where we left off. Okay, so we've just run through those 4 songs. Overall, it's getting there. I think the main thing with, you know, writing it down as opposed to just sort of trying to memorize it is, I know what's coming next, so I don't need to worry about mucking up. And especially when I've only got 1 take on Friday, knowing what's coming next to avoid those mistakes, that's kind of what I'm going for, really. I'm now going to write the next 2 songs, then come and play them, then write the next 2 pieces, then play them. Oh, you're joking. Sake. Why is everything out of charge? We're now doing Anybody Have a Map, whilst I wait for every single device to charge. That was bad, actually. That was... Alright. Jump cut. 2 hours later, I now have done the scores for Requiem. And if I could tell her, play them, run them through, make some notes, then write the final 2, disappear, and you'll be found. We're going good, but oh my gosh, this is tiring. Hello. Run through those 2 as well as the other ones. Right, now time to write the remaining 2 pieces. Dear Evan Hansen, Act 1, is now written. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to run through the whole of Act 1. What I'm also keen to do is make sure everything is annotated correctly. I also want to try and sort the kit out a bit, make it sound a little bit more pop-like. That's a job for later. With time rapidly running out, my frustrations were starting to show. I was stressed that things weren't clicking as fast as they should have been, and consequently, I was getting more and more annoyed. I think I'm going to take a break. Just while I tidy these up, you might think that you're getting worked up over, all this is you trying to make a video. Fair enough, but you question yourself and your ability so much. That's the worst part of this, is the doubt. Drums are so annoying sometimes. Keep trying to practice it. I think another thing is that because I've only allowed myself sort of one take, I need to know it. I need to know it because otherwise, if I don't know it, it could go wrong. And the whole point of this was to learn it in the space of a week and then record it in one session, which then gives me the challenge of trying to learn it well. It's never going to be perfect. The one take thing is ultimately it's a challenge. It's a challenge, so just trying to learn it in a week from scratch. But yeah, it's just a case of practicing at this point. Practice. We'll play something on Friday. I just hope it clicks at some point. I just don't want it to sound bad, but it's a challenge for a reason. Right, hello. It's now Thursday. We just need to practice as much as we can. However, we're firstly starting on the kit because I think one thing which I'm quite keen to do is tune/change the sound that my kit makes, try and alter it a bit. I've also started to use a shaker. Salt shaker. My hope is that I'll wrap it up in some sort of duct tape so you could not tell. The only thing I am sceptical about this is, having practiced it, I have to chuck this on the floor, and if it breaks and salt goes everywhere, I'm not going to be happy. Anyway, let's get on with making this kit sound better. I'm thinking this is a pop sort of show. Let me listen to the track and try and... Yeah, I might loosen the bottom one off a bit and the top one off, just a fraction, and that will just give it a little bit, we'll just take the pitch down a little bit. Toms. I think what I'll do is I'll tighten the heads slightly, especially on the low tom, and might try and put try and dampen them a touch more. Snare drum. The bass drum pedal is actually quite a nice headrest. Ouch. Okay, maybe not. Ow. Note to self, the bass drum pedal will swing back and smack you in the face. Now we'll do the toms. Let's do a mix. I'm going to do the floor toms first. Slightly higher. I'm fully aware there are better ways of doing this. I'm going to turn the camera off and try and fix this because it's not really doing what I wanted to do.
One eternity later.
Okay, so I think I've got the toms. For the cymbal, I think it was just a case about how much play there is in it. Please don't tell me something's broken. What the f is this? Oh no. Is this plastic? What the f? Why is this so dirty? It's like I've just picked up coal. Oh my god. Right, hang on. Look at this. Hands gone black. What is this? What is this? Look at the back of that. You might not be able to see it because of the light. Well, that's not going back on there. I swear I said at the start of the week that, you know, things could go dreadfully wrong. Things could go drastically wrong at some point. This is sort of this is the annoying things which go wrong. Okay, well that's going in the bin. Ugh. No. Yes. No. It's concerning. As I was saying. Where's that? Oh, I don't care anymore. Nice. Rising ball. I mean, that's got a fair amount of clay to it. Whatever that was. What the hell? Oh, God. Ow! That red thing literally just looks like electrical tape wound round it. And that washer is bent. Look at that. You see that? Bent. Okay, so I've now finished going over the score, making sure everything on all the pieces of music are correct. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what annotations I write on my pieces of music to, you know, when something's about to change or I need to do something. So this is my score for anybody have a map. I make a note when to turn the snares on and off because I only got one snare drum. A lot of this is going to be about when to turn the snare on, when to turn it off. And then other bits I just sort of thought it'd be cool to put an accent on some of the shaker bits, especially when sort of the hi-hat, you've got the hi-hat, and then down here when you've got the floor hi-hat as well. Then also we've got sort of dynamic markings on and just general accents. Here's the most trickiest bit when I've got to switch off the snare drum for this section. Then I've got to switch it on during this section for this then. That's going to be the hardest part, and if I can nail that bit, then it'll be fine. If we now have a look at waving through a window, it's just a little reminder, snare on, Sims ad-lib, you know, that kind of thing. Here I up because I initially scribbled out a few bits, but actually it turns out I need them, and just also the fact this is ride, but I never wrote it as ride, I wrote it as hi-hat. Then, for example, the stuff I've written on my iPad, this is more memory stuff, it's not written perfectly. And then something like this where less is written. I've just more written notes, got some lyrics there. Brushes and roll, knowing when to change sticks. A lot of the sort of these back pieces I've sort of done off ear, because I'm going to elaborate a bit on them. And that's how I tend to sort of write up scores. So having now done that, I think there are only a couple more things to do. One, I want to get everything set up today so I don't have to worry about doing it tomorrow. And then I'm going to run through it. I'm just going to keep running through things for the rest of the day. Ran through it, the act. Sounding okay actually. There are a few bits that went wrong, mistakes, but they're tiny little mistakes. It's going to be, the big thing tomorrow is going to be concentration. See you tomorrow. That'll work. It's Friday. Let's do this. Right, everything is set up now. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to do one full run through as it will be, hopefully, during the video, and then what I'll probably do is have a break, set all the cameras up, and then we'll go for real. That's the plan. Okay, run through done. It actually went pretty well, so I'm pleased with that. Set up all the cameras and we'll record it. I also had a thing where my hi-hat decided to unscrew on the bottom pedal during that, so had to repair that. But you know, could happen in the actual thing. I've done this the wrong way round. Great start.
One eternity later.
Done. There we go. Dear Evan Hansen, Act 1. Learned from scratch in 1 week and only 1 take. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, comment in if you enjoyed this sort of concept, and maybe I'll force myself to do another. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one, if there ever is a next one. You take care. You've joined me trying to unwrap this shaker, because unfortunately, I do now need it as a salt shaker. This may not have been my brightest idea. Oh no, it's stuck to the thing. Note to self, don't do this, buy a shaker instead. Right, I'm getting a knife. We're now trying to cut it out using a scalpel. It's a bit sticky. But yeah, I'm gonna buy a shaker next time. Not going through that